This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP network.
This is episode 650 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast for February 18th, 2025. And it is 93 days until the opening of Epic Universe. Hello, everybody. I'm Michelle, your host for today. I've got the whole gang with me, which I'm happy about. I've got Lee, Tracy, and Chris. But before we jump into this cool episode, let's take a minute to hear about our Producers Club.
UUOP is brought to you by the Producers Club. Join today and get bonus episodes, chance to be guest host, be part of our awesome Facebook community, and more. Head over to uUOP.supercast.com to subscribe. Shameless plug.
Whoop, whoop. Awesome. All right. Well, like I said, we got a lot to talk about, and we've got the whole gang here, so it should be some good conversation. But before we start with our little things, let's hear a few birthdays. Tracy, take it away.
I will indeed. Okay, our first batch of the show. We are going to start on February the 21st with Shakira Drumbaugh's birthday. Happy birthday, Shakira!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And then on the 22nd, it's Barry Foster's birthday. Happy birthday, Barry!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And we have birthday twins on the 25th. We're going to start with Dan Chapman's birthday. Happy birthday, Dan!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Dan!
And also the 25th is David Fuller's birthday. Happy birthday, David!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Mr. Fuller!
Happy birthday!
And we'll have some
Sweet,
more
sweet.
later.
Yes, we will. All right. As always, let's start off with a Lottle Things with Seth.
Hi, everyone. This is Seth Kabursky, co-author of The Unofficial Guides, back with a look at all the little things that are new around the Universal Orlando Resort in the first half of February 2025. As I drove into the Universal Resort, I noticed that those digital signs at the border of the property now seem to be working with animated footage. And I stopped by one of those new fuel rod kiosks in City Walk. Previously, I'd reported that I was unable to get a free swap with my founder's status in the fuel rod app. However, I called the toll-free phone number printed on the machine, and they were able to dispense a free swap for me. Hopefully that is a bug in the app that they will fix soon. But it was still not repaired as of this recording. Also in City Walk, I noticed that the Hollywood Drive-In Mini Golf had the ghost side of the course shut down for some repairs to the fountain. The alien side of the mini golf was still available, and hopefully both will be back up soon. And good news for Cinnabon fans. A brand new Cinnabon stand is well underway, being constructed next to the Shoreline drink stand in City Walk, and should be open later this year. Let's start out for a change by going into Islands of Adventure first, where I used the new photo validation without ticket scan that is testing over at the Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder exclusive entrance on the far side of Ioway's entry gates. The ticketless scanning test worked really well for me. It recognized my face in about the same amount of time as it takes when I do scan. And just after that, I went over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, and scanning a Magic Band and my fingerprint took about 3 times as long as it did at Universal. So I'm looking forward to seeing this new system being used for everyone at Epic Universe. I don't often spend a lot of time in Toon Lagoon, but I noticed a few things this week. Of course, the Popeye Island refurbishment, which includes all the attractions there, is continuing. And while Comic Strip Cafe has reopened with that new menu I've talked about, I've been unable to try it since it is being open for rather limited hours. Unfortunately, I haven't heard great things about the new items, but at least you can get the Wellington burger from Wimpy's there, at least as long as Popeye Island is closed. Also in Toon Lagoon, it looks like all the Illuminations merchandise has been removed from Watsamata U in exchange for more DreamWorks merchandise. Specifically, it looks like Secret Life of Pets is out and Gabby's Dollhouse is in. Next door in Jurassic Park, the popcorn snack stand right outside of the Watering Hole bar has been completely removed. And in the River Adventure exit gift shop, Jurassic World Dominion merchandise is 30% off to make room for some new Jurassic World Rebirth t-shirts tied to the upcoming film whose trailer recently dropped. Finally, in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, a word of warning if you think you're going to ride Flight of the Hippogriff in the near future. They're currently on one-train operations and expect to have very long waits until that second train comes back, hopefully in time for spring break. Let's now walk over to Universal Studios Florida, where the on-location photo shop is still under heavy construction. Signs are directing guests to the It's a Wrap shop at the very exit of the park for all of their My Universal photo needs. Also under refurbishment is the Studio Suites candy store attached to the Universal Studios store at the front of the park. You'll still want to stop in the Studios store if you are a Minion fan, because I noticed a new series of Minion blind boxes. These each feature a different random little Minion toy, with a Minion holding a stuffed animal and then dressed as that stuffed animal. Unfortunately, one piece of merchandise you won't be able to get are the Book of the Dead bags, which were sold in the Mummy gift shop. They are completely sold out and will be out of stock for 4 or more months. Over in Diagon Alley, I stopped into the Gringotts Money Exchange, and as I feared, the animatronic goblin there was so into his work that he was unable to respond to me. The merchandise team member in there played dumb, but I expect the silencing of the goblin to be a permanent change. Just outside of Diagon Alley, the London waterfront restrooms have had their exterior completely torn off for a retheming. Around the lagoon outside of Animal Actors, fans of Dogman still have a chance to get a photo op for the film that released late last month. And finally, a little personal victory I wanted to pass along. I recently attended the horror makeup show and noticed that they tweaked a line in the show, which I had been requesting that they edit for years. The bloody knife gag with the curved cutout that they use with an audience volunteer was being attributed to the design of Tom Savini. Finally got them to correct it to saying it was inspired by one of Tom Savini's designs for Dawn of the Dead, but in truth it was actually by the late magician, the amazing Jonathan. Okay, that will wrap it up for this time. As always, you can find copies of the unofficial guide to Universal Orlando at theunofficialguides.com. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and until then, I'm Seth Kaburski, keeping an eye on all those little things for you.
Alrighty. Horror makeup line change. That's cool that Seth was instrumental in that.
Yeah.
How much of an impact do you have as a theme park reporter to actually get a theme park to change something?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong, though. That's...
Exactly.
I'm surprised they left it. If once they're told it's wrong, I'm surprised they left it for so long.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you consider that they're known for the horror, that Universal are
Right.
the horror,
Mm-hmm.
to have something that's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. It's done now.
Have you guys seen the new signs, the new digital signs?
Yes, I really like them.
Yes. Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
By Epic?
No, the ones at the entrance. So the main entrances to the parking lots at studio, like the main entrances off the sort of roads going into
Off the roads,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw
going
them.
into like the Universal property. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the fan with like
Yeah,
Jurassic
nice.
Park. Is it Jurassic Park, Potter,
Harry Potter. Yeah.
DreamWorks?
It's a DreamWorks one I've seen.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like it's not just like a digital sign. Like it's the
Like a
things are moving
yeah.
on it. It's like a video.
Oh, it's not Muggle technology then.
Yeah, it's
No,
subtle
it's not.
change that again just brings it up to this is what I've talked about for a long time with Epic opening, that it's going to be this brand new state of the art park, and it is going to leave those other two parks feeling a little dated, and doing little changes like this is obviously just them bringing it up to, trying to bring it up to the standard of what Epic's going to be.
It adds a dynamic energy as well, with it being like a digital board like that.
Well, also to add to your point, Lee, it's not just going to leave those two parks kind of old looking. I think you're going to see that in some of the parks down the street as well.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I've felt that about Disney for a while, actually, with the things that Universal has been doing the past few years. And then going over to like Magic Kingdom, it just doesn't feel as technologically advanced as Universal.
When we did the Hollywood Studios trip to go to, what is it, Batu?
Yeah.
Batu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that park or that land blew me away. I think I talked about it prior. Like, it was so phenomenal. And then you walk around the rest of the park and you're like, well,
Yeah.
it's normal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get that on a much larger scale now.
Yeah, but it's difficult, isn't it, when you look at like Animal Kingdom and Islands are the two parks that opened the most recent, and it's like 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, trying to retrofit stuff into old parks isn't as easy as it is of building a brand new park with all the infrastructure there from day one.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be, there's always going to be a disparity between the two. I just hope that the money that Epic brings in, that they do pump it back into the main parks to bring them back up. And I know they do have, is it a 10-year plan, we got told, to kind of upgrade some things. I mean, obviously Rip Ride Rocket's part of that.
Yeah. But at the same time, nostalgia is a big draw too.
Absolutely.
So like, we don't necessarily want to change everything.
No.
Just everything's new and shiny. We like that old stuff too.
Yeah, just put some screens in ET.
Yeah, I think that's the issue,
hush your
though, isn't
mouth.
it? You're looking at people who potentially haven't visited Universal, that don't have that nostalgia for the parks to us, that I've said all along, that they're going to walk in and see those two theme parks and be like, these are a bit crappy compared to Epic.
Well, more fool them for not going earlier.
And I know I've been told, Kelly, I'll call you out. Kelly always calls me out because she said the average person that goes, when they go to Universal, they're used to like a Six Flags or a Cedar Fair or something, and the Universal parks are like, even on their worst day, are far superior to those parks.
Yeah.
So it's only us who know what we're looking at more.
I agree
are
with
going to
that.
see that from that perspective.
Because look how freaking popular It's a Small World still is to this day. Like, I know there's those of us that hate it, and there's so many people that have never been to Disney before, and it's like one of their, we've got to do Small World. We have to do Small World. Like,
I agree.
you know, so it's, Universal will be fine. But, you know, we've always got to keep looking towards the future and update where they can. But for now, I'm happy with Epic being what it is, and I still love my studios.
Yeah.
Photo validation entry. That's super cool. So this is like, you don't even scan your ticket. You literally just walk up, it looks at your face, and they're like, yep, you got a ticket. You're good.
It's for people who are registered through photo validation through annual passes, I think, at this point, because apparently it went down today. Because I've seen pictures from the park this morning, and Islands of Adventure was like, that entrance plaza was full and the line was backed up over the bridge.
Really?
So
So
people-
you have to register for that?
I don't know.
Because
I think it registers you the first time it takes your picture.
Maybe
when
that's
you
what it
scan your
is.
ticket for the
Yeah,
first time.
maybe that's what it
right
is.
now they're doing the scan the card, or prior they're doing scan the card, then photo, which I think was just them kind of
Yeah.
testing it out, because I know my family just went up there this past weekend, and funny enough, I was talking to my mom about this because she couldn't find her card anywhere. Got to the line, they're like, "Oh, you don't need it." Looked at the screen, boom, done, inside.
Yeah, I think like Michelle, I think that's what it is. I think once you take that picture and you scan your ticket, then your photo is registered to your card, and then you can use it from that point on, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they had to do something that was seamless at Epic, that was above and beyond what people are used to, because you want to get people through the entrance as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
People want to be through as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still early days with the technology and everything, so, you know, and it doesn't matter what it is, technology goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we just use the honor system at that point.
Absolutely.
I promise. I swear.
Yeah, I have a ticket for the next 2 weeks at Epic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sir, those tickets haven't even been released.
I'm under 3. Let me in.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
I don't think there's anything massive really going on at those two parks at the moment, to be fair.
I don't think
Not really.
No. I mean, the money exchange, Gringotts money exchange.
Seth's
That's
been
a
saying
bummer.
it's coming
Yeah,
for a
we've been
while.
waiting for that for a while, haven't we? So
They've just got rid of a lot of stuff like that over the last year or so, haven't they?
it's a shame because
Sad.
it's little things like that that set the parks as what's the
Make
word I'm
them
looking
they
for?
are.
Set
Yeah.
them apart. Yeah.
I think it's that thing of just cutting costs now, and I think you will see it come back eventually.
Yeah, but you can cut costs too far.
Yeah. I was just watching a video the other day on a day one effect for Tower of Terror. That's the one. Where it's the most minute little thing, but people are clamoring over it. It's just a water drop that happens
I
near
saw
the
something
elevators.
about that today, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's people are just losing their mind and like, oh my god, it's back, and it's a thing that they actually set out to like bring back, and they put some updated signage on something there, and like a can that collects the water. I'm like, I like that. That's cool. It's a small little minute detail. So
Yeah.
like that, playing devil's advocate here, where I think we need all these little things that the park does to make it, have that special touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just pushing everything they can down to Epic. I'm already starting to see, because I have a lot of team member friends on Facebook, I'm already starting to see a lot of those people talking specifically about being at Epic.
Yeah.
I think our friend the Popcorn Doctor posted a post today about saying bye to friends, so I guess he's heading on over there.
It does feel like everybody we know is heading over there.
And this is also my concern. I didn't want to get into this too much, because
Taking the cream of the crop over to there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like Chris, you know,
Which I understand.
Yes, but
Is it
what
going to
are
be
you
detrimental
leaving
to the other
behind?
parks? Yeah.
Your good friend Fernando from
Oh yeah, Strongwater.
yeah, we know that he's gonna, and I understand why you would want to do that, but then I hope they're replacing those people with at least adequate people.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because I'm excited that he's going to be over there at the new park, and that I know the kind of person that he is, right? Like his work ethic. I mean, he makes sure that the guests are having the best time ever. So that makes me excited and hopeful for the restaurant he'll be working at over there. But then, the flip side is my beloved Strongwater. What happens to that?
Yeah.
Hopefully we get somebody that doesn't kind of ruin that.
Well, from a business perspective, it makes sense because for Universal and all of the current stuff that's already here, and those people that have been working there forever, they already have so many systems in place. They've already worked out the kinks. So training new people on a proven system where there aren't kinks is much easier than putting new people in a place that has not yet opened, and those people are not experienced in handling kinks that arrive on the go, on the fly. So these people that have already been doing this for a decade or whatever, when they're at a new restaurant and something comes up, hey, they know how to handle it and keep things going on track. Whereas a new team would be like, what do we do?
Again, the only thing there is when I think of what your job is and what you have to do. Yes, they have that pretty well ironed out. Like everybody knows their role. But I guess to my point earlier, it was more of the morale that a manager brings, right? That your supervisor brings, that goes top down every single time. But that top gets ruined, everybody else will get poisoned.
But then the argument is that this is potentially somebody else's chance to step into the light. True. You never know. Like people, there might be someone who is better than him, who's about to get their day in the sun and end up making Strongwater even better. You never know, do you?
That's very true. Did you apply or?
Maybe the thinking there, though, is for those people that they see potential in, you put them in a safer environment, such as Strongwater, where there's already an established team.
To learn it.
To learn the ropes and to show their potential, and then they get moved along.
Then it's easier to step up into that role.
Because it's less pressure that way as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they know.
They know what they're doing.
I'm sure they know what they're doing.
You know.
It makes me excited for Epic because it makes me feel like they're putting in place a team of really awesome people who know what they're doing in order to try to make these opening months as smooth as possible,
They
because
need
let's admit it, Universal doesn't have the best track record for opening parks. Especially if you look back to, the stories from Julie Zimmerman about the opening of studios.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're really like doing things right with Epic in many ways, and it makes me excited. I mean, I'm not going in on that opening week with high expectations still.
Yeah.
Because that's just disaster waiting. But so far things look like they're doing things right. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on. So we'll probably talk more about these when we get to our portal specific episodes leading up to May 22nd. But Universal gave us a glimpse at some of the food we can expect at the new park last week, as well as releasing the menus for most of the eateries. I'm really excited about this episode because I have, like, on purpose not looked at that stuff yet. So this is going to be all news to me, and I'm excited. Even though it's on my Portkey Vacations Instagram page, I haven't opened it and looked at it.
I'll say, Michelle, just buy bigger pants. That's all I'll say.
Well, Audrey and I have already we have a game plan. We're going to buy multiple things and share them so that we can try all the things and not gain too much.
Yeah.
Weight.
I think you need to team up with other people as well, because honestly, you all know that I'm not fussy. There's just always something that I don't like. And I've looked through these menus and there's very little I won't eat.
Chris is going to be like Homer Simpson's from that episode where he was wearing the moo-moo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Audrey and I live in leggings, so I think we're covered. I think we're good. We just might have to go up a size. That's all. I'm sure, speaking of Tracy, I'm sure the guys over at Taste of Universal will be covering all of this on their March episode. Correct?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. But for now, let's cover the glimpse that they gave us.
Yeah, I don't envy you guys covering, because you've got all of Mardi Gras to cover next month, plus all of this. I mean, we've got...
I think this is going to be an epic episode.
When I did the show notes for this, I've just put the dishes in, not specifically what they are made of, because we've got so much to cover on this episode.
I think that's probably how we're going to have to do it as well.
But because, there's so much. But anyway.
Maybe you need to give us a bonus episode. Can't we have 2 episodes in March?
It's hard enough getting us together for one.
Plus this as well. Anyway.
Damn it.
It'll be exclusive on the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
While strolling through the heart of Universal Epic Universe, guests can find a diverse slate of cuisine across more than 15 dining locations, including the Atlantic Restaurant, which sits across the shimmering waters of Neptune's pool and lives by the motto, seafood, eat food. And that's C as in S-E-A. The Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant, where guests can dine under the constellations alongside 2 neon dragons adorning the walls. The Oak and Star Tavern, where guests can gather around an oak tree and relish in savoury barbecue, and so much more.
I can't wait.
No. Yeah. By the way, I was going through the notes a little bit ahead, and there's no mention of Cella's Tiki here. Is that something that they just didn't want to add in this verbiage?
So with the stuff that they put out, they've picked just a few dishes from each location.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because, I need me some tiki. Right. Some of the delicious dishes guests can enjoy in Celestial Park include sea bass, Landlubber's Snickerdoodle Loot, and Grand Atlantic Martini at Atlantic.
Of course. This is somewhere Atlantic's not going to be your place, is it, Michelle?
I don't know.
Being seafood based.
Yeah, it's not our place, Michelle.
What is Landlubber's Snickerdoodle Loot? I'm guessing just a Snickerdoodle?
We weren't supposed to be going that deep in.
Without fish?
I'll eat the Snickerdoodle, not the fish.
I just can't think what. I'll eat the fish. I love sea bass.
The pictures are all on our social media, guys, so if you want to go and have a look at it, there's also a post up on our blog, which is what everything's containing. Like I said, it's just so much for us to get through. It literally
is Snickerdoodle cookies with like graham cracker stuff around it and gummy sharks.
Oh, so it's like a little island then.
Yeah.
Like a desert
I'll eat
island. That. Sounds fun. We also have tonkotsu ramen, which if you've never had, go and have it because it is my favourite thing ever. And I don't know how to pronounce this one. Khaosan? Khaosan. It's boba, and that's at Blue Dragon Pan Asian Restaurant, where you will find me.
I love boba.
Me too.
Platter with mango bread and pickles. Okay. At the
Sounds
Oak.
gross.
At the Oak and the Plastered Owl at Star Tavern. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Over at Pizza Moon, there is the Harvest Moon Pizza, which is vegan, so that'll keep Shelby happy. As well as the Meteor Strike at Bar Zenith. That's where you'll find Chris.
Oh, yeah. That's a badass name.
It really is. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic will include a variety of enchanting dining locations. We've got Café L'Air de la Serene.
Yep, that'll be one.
Le Gobelet Noir, and more. Filled with French-inspired cuisine and new iterations of familiar favorites, including the Butterbeer Crepe.
Called it.
A baguette.
You did.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Jesus. Butterbeer.
It sounds freaking good.
Oh, yeah.
Baguette de Dende and quiche Lorraine at Cafe. I'm not saying that again. And the Alchemist Platter and Lentil Stew, which is vegan, at Le Goblet Noir.
Is it Café L'air de la Serene?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were casting a spell a little earlier, but let it fly.
I did my best, sir.
You did. Yes.
That that Butterbeer crepe is going to be what everybody's trying, because to put a new Butterbeer item on the menu, they will sell millions.
You mean another crepe I won't get to try?
Why?
Well, every time I've gone for the other ones that I want to turn up.
This is a crepe stand, so it should be all right.
And while we're talking about this particular location, and I don't know if we've discussed this on the podcast, maybe when I wasn't on the episode, but as far as like vacation packages go, the Harry Potter exclusive package now, if you book that, includes a breakfast at, say it again, Lee, Café L'Air
de la Serene.
Yeah, so if you book the Harry Potter package now, it includes breakfast at Three Broomsticks, the Leaky Cauldron, and this restaurant.
Okay. Catherine's listening
which
now
one?
going, you lot are butchering these names.
Of course.
Café L'Air de la Serene.
Serene, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guests can power up for their next adventure in Super Nintendo World with tasty cuisine inspired by the story and experiences within the world at 4 dining locations like Toadstool Cafe, which should be called its original name.
Yeah, I do like Canopio's Cafe. Is a better name.
Yoshi's Snack Island and more, with items such as the Mario Burger and Luigi's Burger, Bowser's Fireball Challenge at Toadstool Cafe, as well as Yoshi's Smoothie at Yoshi's Snack Island.
I mean, the thing is, we know what all these items are going to look back, because if anyone's watched any of the videos from Hollywood or over in Japan, you know what most of the food looks like, and it's super cool.
I'm very excited for it.
I'm very disappointed you never got to go in there. Well, I know you could have done.
I could have done, but that would have been the day.
But it's a shame that you never got to go in.
I know. If I'd known the setup earlier, I would have.
Yeah,
it would have been different.
Over on the Isle of Burke, guests can feast like Vikings within dining locations like Mead Hall, Spitfire Grill, and Hooligans Grog and Gruel, where they will find Yaknog. I'm assuming that's a drink. It sounds disgusting.
It sounds like eggnog, but made with yak milk.
The Thorfest Platter Nordic Harvest Salad,
yes,
which is vegan, and Stormfly's Catch of the Day at Mead Hall. Stormfly's Catch of the Day is that little, like, it looks like a goldfish cracker. It's like have you seen it? The dessert.
Oh yes, yeah, it looks amazing.
That looks super cool.
To be honest, the whole Isle of Burke stuff excites me a lot because I've seen some of the stuff and wow.
Just that land is slowly making its way to my second most anticipated land in that park.
Just listen to me. You know.
What's the first one? Harry Potter Land?
Yeah, that'll be it, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoilers, we haven't got there yet.
Oh.
I'm going to have a hard time dragging Audrey out of Isle of Burke.
Uh-huh.
I may just have to leave her there to go explore the rest of the park.
I think I need to go there last because that's me as well.
I know where I want to be.
I know where you want to be. You'll win.
Mario Land.
No.
Disney.
Mario Land.
At Dark Universe, while exploring Darkmoor, guests will find the ghastly dining locations Das Steakhouse,
I wonder what that could mean.
Oh, I love his German twang there.
Danke.
Danke.
The Burning Blade Tavern, and DeLacy's Cottage, each featuring food and beverage offerings that are to die for, including steaks. Amazing.
Hilarious.
Hang on, remember people listening, they can't read it.
That's steaks as in wooden steaks, not steaks as in...
Yeah, like kill a vampire steak.
Yeah, brilliant.
Blood orange chicken sandwich.
Yes, please.
Which looks amazing.
Yes. Oh my God. Vegan Familiars stuffed cabbage.
No thanks.
Oh, stuffed cabbage. Oh, yes.
At Dallas Steakhouse. And Hunter's garlic steak. At the Burning Blade Tavern. That sounds amazing too. Yeah, all of that.
So that's what Hunter's doing now.
That funny. Hunter's chicken. Yeah. That Burning Blade Tavern, by the way, looks amazing. The fire on the windmill looks.
Is that how
unreal.
they cook the steaks?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Just give you a pitchfork. Cook it yourself.
I know, because obviously all the menus have been put up online. I know you have been talking to the girls from Taste about it, saying that it looks like a very, very extensive menu throughout the entire resort, that you guys expect it to be similar to what they've done at like Volcano Bay, where they put this massive menu out, see what's popular, and then we'll probably scale it back within the first 6 months.
Unfortunately, you're right.
I don't think that's a bad point. No, I'm not right. You said that, not me.
Well, I know. Well,
look at Volcano Bay. Look at when Volcano Bay opened.
The problem is, it's always the most exciting food that gets dropped. It's usually, obviously, the obvious thing is the most popular stuff. You keep that, but then it seems to be easy options.
Look at the crepe stand
just
now.
like,
when that opened, like that's scaled back now to 1 savoury and like 3 dessert.
I still don't know why they have not moved that to an actual restaurant location.
Yeah.
It's always so busy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Green eggs and ham. I'm surprised they haven't started serving those tots somewhere else as well. Like you could have just put it in Circus McGurkus, because that's, like I say, when we went there with Kelly on the penultimate day of our trip, it was rammed.
Yeah.
But super excited for all this food. Like, just too much. It's bad enough going to studios and islands and trying to decide what you want to eat without adding in a whole new park's worth of food.
Right. Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Same.
Like I get giddy. Like every time I think about it now, I get like the tickles in my chest where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like 2025. It's here.
Yeah.
It's been like just this thought in our head since before the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Now it's finally here.
12 and a half weeks out, something like that.
93 days.
93. I don't know what that is in. I don't work in days. I know it's 3 months.
I don't even know when we're going yet, but we'll see.
And I don't know about you guys, but time is flying by right now. Like, I feel like I open my eyes and it's, 2 weeks have passed every morning. So anyway, that's so exciting. Food. Yay. Now, if they would just release ticket products, that would be even better.
Yes, we would love that. Please.
Fingers crossed for Thursday, guys.
This week.
But priorities. Food has to come first.
It doesn't. Tickets have to come first.
Tickets.
You can sort your food out later.
I would think so too, but hey. All right. Well, let's take a quick ad break and hear from our sponsors, Portkey Vacations.
I wish to go to Universal Studios Singapore.
Hello, I'm Steven Spielberg. Ride the movies at Universal Studios Singapore. A spectacular destination for the people of the region and the people of the world.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the Portkey at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
Welcome back. All right. It's time for everybody's favorite. Which stick gets your lick? And this one comes from Nicole.
I've been given the impossible task to keep this family friendly. So why is the segment name so rich with double entendre? We all know what you're trying to say with the segment name that you picked. I'm not even gonna go there, so which stick gets your lick?
Which stick gets your lick?
Oh, hell yeah. Wicked, baby.
Hey, UUOP, it's Nicole from the Portkey Passport, and I'm submitting a clip for Which Stick Gets Your Lick. And in true fashion, I am recording this a few days after our visit to Universal Orlando because I'm a complete train wreck. But anyway, my boyfriend and I tried the blue banana and the blueberry lemonade. My boyfriend Travis tried the blue banana and he gave it a 5 out of 5. He said it was the perfect amount of banana flavor and actually tasted like real bananas over the artificial banana flavoring. And it was refreshing on a hot day. I thoroughly enjoyed the blueberry lemonade. I would give it a 5 out of 5. I will say if you're not a fan of texture, you may want to steer clear because it is definitely made up of pureed blueberries frozen in lemonade. So it does have a lot of texture to it, but it was fantastic. Thanks. Hope everybody's doing good.
I think we had that one, but I don't remember it at all. I don't remember any of the ones we had, to be fair, but it was nearly 2 years ago.
It was. We need to have more.
It was a bit cold last trip for them.
I love Nicole. She is not a train wreck.
No.
He just says that.
And even if she is, she's in our gang.
She's in our train that's constantly wrecking. So It's all good.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Want to hear yourself on the podcast? Joining in with Which Stick Gets Your Lick is super easy. Here's what you need to do.
Head over to Freezeray Pops in Minion Land at Universal Studios, Florida, and sample as many of the popsicles as you'd like.
After you've tried them, record yourself rating each one on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being,
oh, hell no,
and 5 being,
oh, hell yeah.
And then send your recordings to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com.
And for the best experience and sound, record your thoughts while you're still in the park, not a couple of days after like Nicole did. Sorry, Nicole.
Oh, my...
Train wreck. That's
wow.
Not nice.
I mean, I'm not calling her out. She was the one that said it.
Yeah, I know. We love you, Nicole.
We do. Well, the girls do.
So, as I'm sure you noticed, Chris has been missing for a couple of weeks, and that was because he was experiencing Mardi Gras in the brand new Stella Nova Hotel. So, Chris, let's start with your more in-depth review of the hotel.
Chris, before you get started, I have a question that we kind of talked about a couple of weeks ago. How much was parking?
Oh, yeah.
Parking was... I forgot. I don't know. It's on the bill. I can look it up.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll send it over. You can do like.
Oh no, like now we need to know on here.
I've got it. Hold on.
Okay.
Wow. Anyway, how was it? No, Michelle can pick it up.
Okay. How was it? Really good. It has some flaws here and there, which I'll get to, but overall. We really enjoyed our stay there. So we went with a bunch of people. Griswolds were there. The Duns were there. Kyle. And met up many more people as well. But overall, the process for checking in was pretty seamless. Not very many people checking in there. I think they said capacity was about 75%. And that just... information for other things I'll be talking about. But we checked in pretty quickly. Wasn't that many people there. I will say one very odd thing about checking in there is there's no lines in the sense of like there's no
like switchbacks.
There's no switchbacks at all, which gives a more openness and like it's a better vibe, right? Walking in there and aesthetically pleasing. But once there's more than 2 or 3 families checking in, it's extremely chaotic because you don't know where to stand.
Yeah.
It's very awkward kind of standing around and then you're like keeping track of who was there first. And I think they'll eventually maybe add some turnstiles going there, or not turnstiles, but the switchbacks.
Yeah.
Just because it's weird without it.
Surely.
But again, it's also a low capacity hotel. So I don't know. Maybe they don't have to add it in the future. We'll see. But
the thing is, as you know, tourists need to be told where things are.
Yeah.
Were there ropes at Surfside?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Or was there just a sign?
I haven't seen a Surfside for so long, but
yes,
it
there
has
was.
to have.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Okay. Parking is $30 plus tax.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I will say, just going back. Yeah, no, it's a lot. Going back, the actual drive into the area was kind of cool, just because there's still a lot of construction going on. So the whole thing was just an experience. Because as you're driving in, Epic is literally to your right. Like when we parked in the parking lot, get out of the car, the door to get inside of Stella felt like it was the same distance to be on the inside park grounds of Epic. That's how close you are. It is right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And saw a couple things running as well, but I'll get to that after.
Yeah, we've been closer.
That right there would be Nintendo.
Yes, right there was Nintendo. Yeah, I could literally see the back of Bowser's castle.
See, I don't like that though. I don't like being able to see like the back of things. It's weird.
I don't think it's going to always be like that because it's not visually pleasing. I'll be honest. Yeah. But there's also, again, it's all closed off. Like a lot of that stuff is still being being constructed. And from what I could tell, there's a lot of foliage and just stuff that they're planting there to eventually cover up. You'll still see, you'll definitely still see things that I think once the greenery's up, you can see clearly the, Mario's flagpole that he jumps down at the end of the level and a couple other things. I thought that was kind of cool. And also visually, aesthetically, the front of the hotel, it's gorgeous. It is very awe-inspiring to just look at in the front. I think they did a really good job with that. They also have a giant, I don't know what they're called, but it's the old school kind of walk into a circle revolving door. I guess that's what it is, a revolving door. Uh-huh. Yeah, but they have the largest one I've ever been into. Like it's huge. You can fit like 8 people side by side walking through, I feel.
Which is useful when you got suitcases, I guess.
True, and kids.
100%.
Yep, and a stroller and stuff like that.
However, with that being said, it was broken 90% of the time.
Brilliant.
And or it just kept on turning off because somebody would like trip the thing to turn it off. I don't know what they're going to do with that. And when that's down, it is extremely annoying getting in and out of that hotel. Like the doors are on the side. They're not easy to pull. It was extremely annoying just the whole trip. We used it once when we were checking out. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so going past that, checking in, the pictures that you see online, just like when you're looking at house pictures, if you're going to go buy a place or rent a place, looks way bigger. It is not that big. It's actually much smaller than we thought it was going to be. But that doesn't take away from it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying we were kind of shocked when we saw the size of the place. So you go
like Surfside kind of
no, because I've said to you,
smaller,
it's smaller because I think Surfside is the smaller of those two by over 1,000 rooms. I think Surfside's capacity is I think it's got 970 rooms, where I think Terra Luna and Stella Nova only have either 750.
I think we looked. Yeah. So, but again, I think like with any other hotel, build out, that things are appropriately sized for the guest, capacity. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. So you go in, you got the bar, the Nova bar, I think it was called, right in front of you. It's a cool little bar. It's, themed out nicely. Cocktails, we had one checking in. Fantastic. Service was amazing. Also, the service everywhere there was amazing. Like everybody was on point. Obviously, it just opened up, so maybe that adds to it. But they were doing a really good job with everything and making sure you were accommodated. So yeah, you have the bar right there in front of you. If you go towards the left, you had a little grab and go, very little again. And then you have right after that, you have the cafeteria or the dining area. This is a weird one. So I haven't seen this at any of the other hotels, and I don't like it.
See, if you're about to say what I think you're going to say, Tracy and I were talking about this, and I actually think I do like it.
Okay. So I'll tell you what I do or don't like, and then tell me if that's it. So you go to one area to place an order, and giant menu. They have so many things. One thing I did not like is not a picture of anything. So it's very difficult to kind of come up. If you have such an extravagant menu, like, you know how at Surfside, Dockside, it'll have the names of the things and little pictures of the items, and it kind of goes, maybe I want that. Here, nothing.
Okay.
So I didn't like that aspect. And then you order over here, and then you have to go over to where the seating area is to go pick up over there.
See,
and
I
they
like
gave you
that.
a number 2. You like that?
Yes, right?
No,
because
that's Starbucks.
What I was commenting with
mentality.
Tracy, like, so I've done it at Dockside and Surfside where we've ordered food and you've had to wait, and everyone is stood in where they're making the food. People ordering, people picking up, everybody is there. Whereas this way, you've got that area is limited to people just ordering, and everyone picking up is over there, rather than having everyone who's ordering
Everybody
and picking
together.
up in that one place. I actually like it because we were watching Fudge Factor. They didn't. You get the little like vibrating.
That's better
To tell you when it's ready.
Okay.
I like it actually. But what,
Okay,
Tracy?
so let me add to that.
No, I'm just saying that-
Maybe. Sorry, Tracy. Go ahead.
No.
What'd you say?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just interjecting. I'm just making
Oh.
noise.
Maybe I would have liked it had the experience not been so terrible. And so this is one of the bad things that happened over there, which again, they can improve on. We were having a pool day the next day, and we were going to get ready to go into the parks. I was starving. So I go, you know what? Let me go get some food. And there's nobody ordering, and there's nobody in the cafeteria like eating, or the dining area eating, right? And that's important here. So I go there, can't really figure out what I want. I see, they have grilled cheese and tomato bisque. I'm a sucker for grilled cheese and tomato bisque.
Okay.
So I order that, and I was telling Alexa, I'm like, I'll be right up there. There's nobody here. So 35 minutes later, I'm patiently, but kind of going up to them like, hey, what's going on? I really need my food to get going. And again, there's not a soul there that's getting food prepared. And there's maybe 10 people in the kitchen, let's say, from managers to cooks to servers. Like, I'm like, what is going on? So I ended up getting my food, and I went to go just refill my soda before going back to the room. I'm like, let me check it real quick. A grilled cheese is pretty simple. It's cheese, grilled, melted, gooey.
Yeah.
5 minutes
This was as if they just pulled 2 breads out of a toaster oven, slapped 3 slices or 4 slices of cold cheese, and then gave me that. Nothing was melted. And I was like, I go to bite into it. I'm like, just suffer to do it. I go to bite into it.
Not have done.
So in other words, they forgot your order, and then because you were like, hey, where is it? They're like, get him something out quick.
Do you know what though?
Maybe.
Even if they forgot, it still only takes less than 5 minutes to make a grilled cheese. It's
Yeah,
not rocket science.
yeah. So then I go back. I paid a lot of money for this too. So I'm like, I kind of really want a gooey grilled cheese with my tomato bisque.
Yeah.
And so I go back. I'm like, hey guys, this, I show the server there. He's like, oh yeah, that's not melted. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not melted. Can we do that though?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, let me prepare a new one. And
Past
then
him.
they go to take it to the chef, and
The chef make a grilled cheese. Yeah.
yes, it literally, the chef was there, which that was a whole nother thing, which I had to explain to her because she mainly spoke Spanish and she wasn't understanding the guy talking to her. I'm like, can I just tell her?
Oh yeah.
And so I explained everything to her. She's like, oh, okay. And then gives me another sandwich, and it was worse somehow.
How could it be worse?
They put less cheese, and it was still not melted. She didn't understand that the cheese needed to be melted. So I said, screw this. And I just took it upstairs because everybody's like, we have a whole group waiting to go. So I took it up there, and I start like eating my sandwich or whatnot. And I was just kind of at this point. Alexa saw it. She's like, she said some words. So
Yeah.
we were there, and I was like, I got so angry at the whole thing because I'm also starving, and like I spent all this money and I wasted almost an hour at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, this is unacceptable, because I was just going to eat the soup and leave the sandwich. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be doing that.
By the way, tomato bisque, 10 out of 10, delicious.
Okay, that's something.
She's like, I'll go down there, I'll take it, and just go in the shower. That all happens. she comes back up with a sandwich, which was like, they got it half right.
Oh God!
And we're just like, forget it. And she was because she apparently got into it with one of the workers there because they were being a little rude to her. Like, is this melted enough for you? Because she tried to explain something before. They were snapping at her.
Was that the
Don't
concierge
snap at
woman
her
from
when she's
Portofino?
hungry and also on the defense. It's not going to work out well for you. And so I literally had a couple bites and I went down. I go, I got to bring this up to a manager. Like, somebody has to know about this. This is ridiculous. 3 grilled cheeses in an hour and a half and like $25. No, this is not cool.
Right.
And I went down there and I spoke to the manager and I showed her. I have pictures. I'll send it to you guys if you want to see it. It's funny. I showed her and she goes, I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to complain and blah, blah, blah. And I showed her the thing. She goes, what is that? And I'm like,
exactly.
This is the manager. I go, she's like, what is that? I go, it's supposed to be a grilled cheese. She goes, that's definitely not a grilled cheese. I go, look, I understand. I told her, and I'm being very patient. I'm like, look, I understand you guys just opened, blah, blah. She goes, no, that was 3 weeks ago. They should be knowing how to do this right now. I go, okay, thank you for saying what I'm feeling right now.
I mean, not being funny, but before they opened, a chef at the very least should be able to make a grilled cheese.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a 13-year-old should be able to make a grilled cheese.
It's
An
funny that we
8-year-old
talked
could do
about
it.
all the best members of staff from Universal Orlando going over to Epic Universe. Well,
then-
they need to get someone who can make a grilled cheese.
So, they refunded me my money and I won't get into the other stuff, but again, we had a group of people there with us. Alexa also had some other food. I think she did breakfast the next day. Food is an area they really need to work on.
It's funny because I've heard
it is not good.
Yeah, we've watched a lot of vlogs about it over the last 3 or 4 weeks since it opened, and it seems to be very hit and miss. That some have been, the food was great, and then others were like, it was not good.
Yeah, I think some of that you'll get your influencer. Everything's delicious here.
Of course you will.
But because we even had somebody, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Grayson, because Grayson was also staying there with Emily. And he had a meal and he was just raving about it, if I'm not mistaken. He's just like, yeah, that was really good. But a lot of other people are like, crap food.
But then
so
also
definitely they need to
tolerance.
work on the food side there. I was kind of bummed because they have so many items there.
Especially when we've talked recently a lot about, Michelle, you were like, people just want to come in and grab something to eat and not go up to City Walk. And we said, like, if you want to go out for a decent meal, you've got to schlep up to City Walk. But then if the food that you're supplying at that hotel, that really is the only place for people coming back from the parks to go to, isn't up to standard.
Yeah. And word will get out very fast.
$25 for a grilled cheese and soup. I can pay $25 and get freaking cowfish.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's not. I thought you were kidding when you said 25.
No. It was like because you got to get the grilled cheese, whatever they call it there, and then the soup is separate, so you're paying for two different things. Yeah,
fair enough.
So yeah, they can improve, but I was very bummed because I was excited to try a bunch of different foods. I will say also had some stuff out at the pool bar area, which the way they have it set up and built, the food at the pool area is the same kitchen. It's connected. It's a window on the outside. It's kind of a cool way that they built that out. So don't expect too much of a difference there. But I will say overall, so we had some drinks at the bar outside. Drinks were good all around the resort. So you're going to be starving, but at least you'll be drunk while you're starving.
They're relying on the summer sun to melt the cheese.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. So that's food out the way. We go into the room. I will say the whole hotel aesthetically is cool. Like even walking down the hallway to our room in a very weird way, I felt like I was walking down like a ship from like Star Trek.
Yes.
Like it's just the way the carpeting is, the walls, like your number plates for the room numbers, all really cool looking. We get to our room. I love the layouts of the room. I think they did a really good job. There's even like this integrated bench that goes like that's connected to the media console in the front, so it gives some extra seating area without having to put like a full sofa or couch in there. Yeah, overall, like that the room, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The bed's super comfy. We got some amazing sleep. So no complaints there. We ended up getting a pool view room, which was okay. I think the big sellers are going to be the theme park view rooms once that's all kind of set up, because Jill had one of those.
Yep.
And we went up to her room on the 8th floor, I think it was. And man, that view was amazing. It was so
sent me a
cool.
lot of videos. I've seen it.
Yeah, like we were all hanging out in her room for a bit. We saw Donkey Kong coaster running. We saw the Dracula coaster running. The Isle of Burke spinning. I forgot the name of the ride. And then we also saw a couple different lights here and there. It was super cool. You can also see Helios lit up, which is gorgeous.
Nice.
So I think those are going to be the rooms to stay in.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the pool view rooms that we got, it's not for me, because like if you go to Surfside and Dockside, Cabana Bay, Hard Rock, any of the other hotels, right? You have this kind of secluded pool view. You're not seeing too much of the city around. Maybe there's like highways or something. Here, you get like the pool view, which is okay, but they're constructing a high rise right next to it. And there's construction in front of it. Like there's literally so much residential construction happening. It really takes away from the I'm on vacation kind of feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, completely.
So in the future, if you're booking, get the theme park view. Don't opt for the pool view. It doesn't really add to your stay.
Yeah. Did you have any issue with the rain then, Chris? Because I've seen a lot of people complaining that because of how the front of the hotel is designed, that when it pours down, people have had it like dripping on the windowsill outside, like incredibly loud.
Yeah, I did not hear anything that would make a difference there. So no, I want to say.
Okay.
The other thing, just going back to noise, something that I very, very much appreciate. So now that I have a child that we've been using like a sound machine for, I've been like hooked on sound machines to go to sleep. It's kind of nice.
Okay.
And so every time I've stayed at Dockside recently, I bring the sound machine and I crank that up to 100, because the walls at Dockside are paper thin and I hear every single sound that's happening there. I didn't hear a thing over here at this hotel. Okay. Now, I don't know if that's because of its more than, half as much capacity than some of these other hotels. But even so, I didn't hear people walking in the hallways. I heard nothing. Like it was very peaceful. It was very silent. I feel like the materials, or the quality materials, are of higher insulation that would stop that from happening. So that makes me very excited. Like I would definitely stay there. And that's even without the sound machine.
Yeah.
Like that's all really good stuff.
So I wonder, so Chris, was the pool on the opposite side of the hotel from the park?
Yes.
So
like
then,
the front of the hotel, epic view, complete opposite side, pool view.
Okay. So there's no way to actually like book a theme park view when it's not an option. So I guess you have to book a standard view, and I guess we got to learn where to request the rooms.
I honestly would not be surprised if they updated their verbiage to reflect theme park view. Because
did she have a high floor?
Yes,
8. You said 8, didn't you?
I think 8th floor. So, opposite side of pool, high floor is the way to go. It's really nice.
How were the lights, Chris?
The lights in Epic
in the room.
Oh.
I've heard a lot of people.
Oh, yes.
No. The motion sensor.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. I got it here noted. I got it. What the hell were they thinking?
Very strange.
It is terrible. And when I say terrible, it happened every single time, and every one of us had the same experience where I didn't time it. I probably should have, but you go take a shower, right? So instead of, you have a light switch that you can like touch and turn on, but most of them are motion activated. And so even if you manually turn it on, there's a timer that's built into there. I want to say that it's less than 5 minutes.
What?
It will turn off the light. So while you're showering, lights off.
That's ridiculous.
And there's not like a central, like a command one or a main
Nope.
one?
No, even more so. I'm in tech and I do tinkering of stuff, I was researching the model of the Switch to see if I can override it. And it would require me taking off the faceplate and changing some physical stuff inside. Or I'm like, I don't want to get kicked out of the hotel either. So I just kind of left it. But that is, these automated switches are terrible. And the other flip side for me is, like, in the middle of the night, I'll sometimes get up to go use the bathroom.
Of course.
And I'll leave, there's all like the ambient lights that are on. So I don't need to put on a bathroom light, right? Yeah. This thing, it's like 3 a.m, I walked in there and boom, sensors turn on, blast you in the eyes. I had to like hurry and click it off. I mean, obviously this is something that they can fix, but it's a weird decision that they did this and didn't catch it already. I feel like people had to have complained about it. I know
Why did they not just put in the ones where you have to put your room key into it?
Exactly.
Because when people figured out how they can still leave them on, can't they? Because you can just have old room keys and stick them in there. It doesn't have to be a new one. So they're obviously doing it.
You can put anything. You can put credit cards in there.
A cost-cutting measure.
Do you know what? I'm all for energy-saving things.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes is ridiculous.
Every time, Tracy, I went to go take a shower and Alexa, you have to, mid-shower, you have to wave your hand outside the shower curtain to just kind of activate and trigger it again. It's super annoying.
Tracy and I were talking about every time we checked into a Universal Orlando hotel, right? So they're trying to save money on electricity. I want to see how many of you have had the same experience. You walk into your room for the first time. Generally, we all check in relatively later in the day. All the lights will be on and the TV's on.
Oh, yeah.
And yet they're going to install motion sensor lights to save a bit of electricity. Well, why not turn everything off when there's no one in the room?
Sure, 100%. Yeah.
Honestly,
the other fun stuff that happened when we checked in, again, brand new hotel. We walked in there and I'm like, man, this room is hot. AC wasn't working.
Wasn't working.
Wow.
It wasn't working. Like, it turned on, but it's blowing just hot air or just not cooled air. So they were able to sort that out. I wanted to know what was wrong with it, but they came when we were out of the room. They got something fixed in there. And I think our phone wasn't working as well, which they had to like fix that too.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it's not the first hotel they've opened.
No. And it's Lowe's. It's a major chain of hotels. Like, I feel like there's a quality assurance step that was skipped or rushed to meet the opening date, maybe.
It'd be interesting because Terra Nova was supposed to open.
Terra Luna?
Terra Luna? Stella Nova. I always get them mixed up. Anyway, was supposed to open this month as well, and that got pushed back till next month. So it'll be interesting to see if that hotel has the same little niggles that this one's had when that opens.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's interesting that was a problem when we checked in, but little things that didn't really affect our trip.
Yeah.
What else in the room that I can think of? You got some cool gadgetries on the TV. You can have like your phone use an app to control it from there, even though I didn't get that to work.
Can you hook up like your own Netflix and YouTube and all that crap on it as well?
Yeah, I tried to do some of that. For some reason, the QR code just wasn't, I don't know if it was needed to be updated, just didn't get recognized.
Okay.
And honestly, we weren't in the room long enough to even bother with any of that. There was just so much going on, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, quiet rooms, bed, super comfortable. I had some fantastic sleep there. Alexa as well. Like, we really, really enjoyed those beds.
Good.
Yeah. So the next, I would say, big thing. Well, so let's talk about the gym, right?
Christopher.
I don't know where it's at.
I know you don't.
So let's keep on going past that. Bus to the parks.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about that. So we got to ride on the electric buses. They were okay. They are sometimes, I think they're part of like the thrilling aspect of going to the parks because makes some weird noises. Like, it sounds like an airplane stalling sometimes while you're just stopped. Loud banging.
That's weird.
They're super noisy on the inside at certain times. On the outside, dead silence. Very, very odd.
Weird.
Yeah. So the bus ride in, I will start off by saying we timed it to about 14 minutes.
Okay, that's about what I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, we did an exact time. The first time we went and took a bus, it took 25 minutes.
Wow.
But that was because I don't know what happened. It was nighttime. Bus driver's driving. He had to this is weird, get out of the bus himself at one point to move a cone to keep on driving through a street.
Okay.
Get back on the bus. And then I'm like, finally, we're here. He stops and we're back at the hotel. And some people got off, and then he continued to go back to City Walk. I don't know what was going on, but let's go to a normal ride. Normal ride, 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It felt like 40. I don't know if it's just we're spoiled and so used to a very quick ride down the street, even if you're at Dockside. I've stayed at Dockside plenty of times. I've taken the bus plenty of times. That still feels extremely fast. This ride just feels so long. But here's the thing. These hotels are geared towards Epic.
Yes.
You're right in front of Epic, right? So I'm not trying to fault them. I can't really fault them, right? It's just a location-based thing. But yeah, like if you're planning to mainly go to studios and islands, try to get a hotel over there. Unless you got a killer deal over here or you just want to check this out. Honestly, the distance there, it was a pain for us because, again, we're just kind of spoiled. So getting to the park was one thing. At the end of the night, because we normally close out City Walk, we're exhausted.
Yeah,
we want to get back to our hotel. If you miss that bus, sometimes you're waiting a bit for another one. I feel like they need more buses, even more so than Dockside and Surfside here, because it's such a long distance. You miss one, you're going to be waiting a long time.
Was there still construction on the interstates?
Yes. Yeah, there is construction.
So maybe it won't be so long when they have those bus only lanes.
No, but here's the thing. Possibly, but we weren't really stuck in traffic. We were driving most of the time. Yeah. It just felt weird, right? And I know that's not such a common thing if you're staying over at, let's say, like a Disney resort that's further out, because that takes time
because
to
you're
get
used
to
to
the
it.
parks.
Yeah, it's part and parcel of staying on Disney property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bus thing, it's just a piece of advice. Again, if you're going to be mainly going to studios and islands, maybe don't stay here.
So Tracy and I talked about probably coming over in October, and I was saying at the time that it would be nice if we stayed at Terra Luna.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's a good idea if we're going to Horror Nights.
No.
Because we're probably still going to spend more time at Universal.
I would say 100%.
Yeah.
If it's for Horror Nights, do not do it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I did think
go
about...
and visit. You can take a trip over there, go check it out.
We will. We'll go to Epic Universe for 100%. Even if we end up there in May, we'll still go in October as well.
Well, obviously, because it's new, you have to. I was going to suggest that if we're there, because when we're planning on going, are there any off nights for Horror Nights?
We need to decide when.
Because I was going to suggest, much as I hate repacking, a night there.
I don't know whether it's going to be worth it.
But it will be like a one night thing, which means we're paying for 2 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Well, it'd be like, if history repeats, it'd be Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
That HHN is closed, so...
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're ever going to do a split stay at Universal, this would be the reason.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even more so now than ever. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But even still, we're just talking as spoiled people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Disney. And unless you're staying like at the Contemporary or the Polynesian, or even when you're staying there, you have quick access to Magic Kingdom, but you still got a 20+ minute ride to go to Animal Kingdom. Yeah. So like it's just part of a Disney vacation that we don't even think about.
No.
Yeah.
So we're just spoiled.
And for a lot of people, it may not be anything, right? They're not even going to think twice about that. But for people like us that go there often or just kind of know how things are, it's going to stick out. I guarantee you it's going to stick out as an issue. And especially during Horror Nights. Like we were tired at the end of a regular park night after closing City Walk. I can only fathom like each minute after a Horror Nights night is an hour. Like that's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, and so just going back to Dockside and Surfside, it can be a chew. You come out of Horror Nights and you're walking all the way through City Walk down to the bus route, like down to the bus loop, waiting for a bus. Get on the bus over to Dockside. It's a trek. Adding an extra few minutes, like double the time effectively to go down to there probably isn't worth it.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. When looking to see where you want to stay at. So yeah, buses. See if there's anything else. I can't think of too much else. I mean, overall, we really enjoyed the hotel, and we'll be staying there again.
That's good to hear.
That's where we're going to be at for the epic stay that we're doing, or the trip that we're doing.
Okay.
Stella Nova again.
The what?
Stella Nova again.
Yeah. So funny enough, we were going to stay at Terra Luna just because it's going to be open, and it was a couple bucks cheaper. But the only thing that swayed us to stay back at Stella was because that has the walking path closer to the hotel. Yeah. Not that we're going to be doing that a ton, but I figure we knock it out once and
you have to
say you did it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we can always walk over to Terra Luna just to kind of check it out. But I'm assuming it's going to be pretty similar, like Dockside, Surfside.
Yeah.
For the most
and you're
part.
going the weekend after opening, like the next week?
Yeah, the
29th, 30th.
Yeah, 29th and 30th.
Okay.
So
I'll be doing Terra Luna on that Monday and Tuesday after the park opens. So, but I will not have Epic Universe tickets during that time. So
you'll get to experience that trek up there then. So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Cool.
But again, like overall, it's just a fantastic hotel. I think it's a great addition to the entire, suite of properties that they have to offer. I think the price point, especially the price point that we got it at was very enticing for what you get there. I also
I'm
forgot
surprised that they had annual pass holder rates already.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing because when this was booked a year out in advance, and when we booked, don't quote me on this, but it was like $178 a night.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to a few months prior to it opening, and I think they had pass holder rates. I think what we booked was the Florida rate, and that went all the way down to 130, or 120 bucks. Like it was crazy amount. Maybe they just didn't fill up enough. I don't know what, but I think at that rate, it is a steal of a hotel. It's cheaper than even staying at a Hampton Inn down the street, right? From the parks.
That's what I got Terra Luna for.
Yeah. And that again, that was Terra Luna was a couple bucks cheaper for the trip that we were going to do coming up now in May, but we just ended up with Stella just to be closer. One other thing too that I forgot to mention, I have here in my notes, which I thought was super cool, so there's a gift shop that's in there, and they have a bunch of merch from all the different new lands at Epic, so that was fun. But one thing that I noticed in there is that gift shop has a changing room.
Oh.
Are you guys familiar with changing rooms in the parks or inside the hotels?
No.
Never seen one.
No.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I had to ask that because saw the changing room and I go, this is amazing that, instead of I always have to buy something and maybe it doesn't fit the way I like to in the room and go back down all that stuff. I'm like, I told the lady because there was a manager there and two other employees. And I go, guys, this is awesome. This is so cool that you guys now have a fitting room in the hotel. And she proceeds to tell me, yeah, all of them have it.
No, they don't.
That's what I said. But
I mean, if they do, then you have to go back in the employee areas.
She was very adamant about telling me they do. And I go, okay, I'm not going to argue with you, but
I have never seen that.
I've been here
anywhere
quite a few
else.
times. I've never seen a fitting room inside of a gift shop.
So never seen.
Well, now we're on a mission.
Never seen. Never heard anybody else say that they've got them.
And I've also been in every hotel gift shop I go in. So
I feel like you would have seen that, Tracy. You would have noticed.
I've never looked, to be fair, but
because me, I'd have been going, this is brilliant. This is genius.
It is so smart.
Yeah,
that they have that there, and they need to have it everywhere. And it was a giant fitting room, giant fitting room. You can fit a wheelchair in there. That's how big it was. Full mirror, lighting, everything. It's perfect. They need to have that everywhere.
The Surfside store is tiny. There's nowhere there was any room in there for a change.
No.
I mean, to be fair,
unless it's backstage or something.
This one was tiny too. The store is not big whatsoever, but you clearly see this because when you go to pay, there's the counter with 2 registers. Right behind the counter on the right. So it's not even closed off. It is open so you can walk right in front of it and open the door. Giant fitting room door. Fitting room.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very.
All right.
Cool.
Well, awesome. So that review went a little longer than we anticipated. So to give Chris enough time to talk about Mardi Gras, we're going to push that review back to episode 652. So
yeah, something to
let's go ahead and end this episode. But before we do that, we have a few more Producers Club birthdays.
Yes, we do. Another little team of 4. We have birthday twins on the 27th, and they're both called Nicole. We're going to start with Nicole Hubb's birthday. Happy birthday, Nicole!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And the birthday twin is Nicole White. Happy birthday, Nicole!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Nicole!
And then on March the 1st, we have April Armstrong's birthday. Happy birthday, April!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, April!
Feliz cumpleaños, April!
And last but by no means least, on March the 3rd, we have Shane Stoot's birthday. Happy birthday, Shane!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Shane!
Happy birthday, Shane!
Wishing you all fantastic birthdays and lots and lots of cake.
Yep. All right. That is going to wrap up the podcast. Don't forget, we want you to rate the Freezeray Pops and send in your recordings, as well as sending us your How Bad is Fast and Furious Supercharged jokes. You can send all of that to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. But for this week, Thomas Burnell gives us Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad.
How bad is it?
Fast and Furious Supercharged is so bad that even the trolls pass up the party bus. See you next week.
Are you insane? Get out of here. The curse, it's real. The podcast is over. So, the Magi want you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcast news and articles, check out our blog at UUOpodcast.com. Contact us by emailing us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And if you want to join the Producers Club, email us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Silence! With your subscriptions, we shall rule for all eternity. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Not even the Magi can save you now. There is no escape. Your end shall be my beginning. Prepare yourself for your next trip by emailing Michelle at portkeyvacations.com. She can take care of all aspects of your next Universal Orlando vacation. We hope you enjoyed your podcast. Please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the prepare to forfeit your souls. Check out the other podcasts on the UUOP network. Rush of Fear, Halloween Horror Nights podcast, the theme park duo for all your West Coast news and info, the Taste of Universal, Universal Orlando Food podcast, and the newest podcast on the network, the Portkey Passport, our Disney-centric podcast. So hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. I would have enjoyed this podcast a lot more if I had gotten my cup of coffee.